Welcome to Speak English Time, your calm space to grow your English and grow yourself step by step. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Let the air fill your lungs. Exhale slowly. You are here. You are learning, and that is enough.
I'm Ron, and I'm glad you're spending this time with us.
And I'm Emma.
We call this the English leap, but remember our philosophy. It is not a jump into pressure. It is not a race against a clock. It is a gentle movement forward, one honest conversation at a time. Sometimes moving slowly is the fastest way to get where you're going.
Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe. We hope to reach our 1,000 subscriber family very soon.
Today's topic sounds small, ordinary, almost invisible. It's a phrase you hear in offices, in kitchens, and on street corners every single day. 3 words. How was your day?
We say it so often it becomes a sound, like a bird chirping or a car passing. But those 3 words, if used with intention, can open a heart, or if used carelessly, they can close it.
Think about it. Have you ever answered that question with fine? Even when your day felt heavy, even when your heart was loud.
And have you ever asked someone about their day, but your eyes were on your phone? Your mind was already in the next room? Today we're going deeper. We aren't looking for drama. We aren't looking for complicated grammar. We are looking for what is real. Because sometimes the smallest questions carry the biggest weight. Let's sit with that for a moment.
The micro check-in. This morning, I did something different. I didn't check my emails first thing. I made my bed slowly. I smoothed the sheets. No rush. I noticed the light coming through the window. It was a pale, soft yellow. The room looked different, gentler. I realized something simple in that silence. A calm start doesn't mean a perfect day will follow. The world might still be chaotic, but a calm start gives you a steady place to return to.
I love that image, Ron. A steady beginning. Today, while I was waiting for my coffee, I heard a little child laughing. It was a loud, bubbling laugh. There was no reason for it. They were just happy to be standing there. And a strange thing happened. Everyone in line, people looking at their watches, people looking tired, they all smiled. That laugh didn't change the economy, it didn't fix the traffic, but it changed the moment. And sometimes, when the day feels long, changing the moment is enough. It's the only thing we can control.
When empathy took over. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really listen to the question. When someone says, "How was your day?" do you feel safe enough to answer honestly? Or do you feel a tiny bit of pressure to be okay, to be positive?
If you're practicing your English and you're around the B1 level, stay with us. We aren't going to use academic jargon. We're using clear English, real sentences. These are words you can hold in your hand and use tomorrow.
And here's our community reflection. We want you to think about this as we move through the chapters. When someone asks you about your day, do you answer quickly, like a reflex? Or do you pause and think for 2 seconds? There is no right answer. We aren't here to judge. We are just here for awareness.
Chapter 1. The fine habit, the emotional mask. Let's talk about that word, fine. In English, fine is a dangerous word. It's like wearing sunglasses at night. It looks okay from the outside, but nobody can see your eyes. You're hidden.
It protects you, doesn't it? If you say fine, you don't have to explain your sadness or your stress. But it also hides the good things. It keeps people at a distance.
I remember a year in my life when I was incredibly stressed. I was working long hours. Every single day, my manager would walk by and ask, "How was your day, Ron?" And I would say, "Fine." But inside, I was a storm. I felt the pressure building in my chest. One evening, I walked home and I felt strangely angry at a red light. Just a red light. And I realized when you never express your day, your emotions have nowhere to go. They get stuck inside you.
That's a powerful realization. I often think emotions are like steam in a kettle. If the steam has no whistle, no way to escape, the pressure just grows until the metal vibrates.
Exactly. Fine is safe, but growth doesn't happen in the safe zone. It happens in the honest zone.
So let's expand our vocabulary. What can we say instead of fine? Let's practice these slowly. Feel the words in your mouth. It was productive. I got things done. I feel accomplished. It was exhausting. My energy is low. I worked hard. It was calm, actually. Nothing big happened, and that was nice. A bit stressful, but manageable. There were problems, but I handled them.
Notice how these aren't complaining. They're just reporting. You don't need to share your whole life story, just one real detail. One detail is the bridge to a real connection.
Chapter 2. The Weather Report Method, Naming the Sky. I want you to give you a tool. We call it the weather report. Think of your day not as good or bad, but as the sky. Sometimes the sky is sunny. Sometimes it's gray and heavy. Sometimes there is a sudden storm. But we never get mad at the sky for being cloudy, do we? We just accept it.
Yes, the weather is not a personal failure. If it rains, it's not because the sky failed, it's just a condition. If your day was stormy, if you made mistakes or felt sad, that doesn't mean you are a failure. It just means the weather was heavy today.
Let's try a little exercise. I'll give you a situation. I want you to think, what kind of weather is this? Situation 1. You had 4 meetings and missed your lunch break. Response: it felt like a thunderstorm, or it was a very windy day. Situation 2. You finished that project you've been working on for a month. Response: it felt bright and clear, or the sun finally came out. Situation 3. You had a small disagreement with a friend. Response: a bit cloudy with some sudden rain.
Do you see what happens when you use these metaphors? You create distance. It makes it easier to talk about feelings without feeling overwhelmed. And as you learn these words, breezy, overcast, stormy, golden, your English becomes more colorful. You're not just a student, you're an artist describing your life.
Chapter 3. Listening, the forgotten skill. Now we have to look at the other side, not just answering, but asking. When you ask someone, "How was your day?" are you listening to understand, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak?
Listening is a skill, just like grammar. I think of it like holding a fragile glass. If you squeeze too tight, if you interrupt too much, it breaks. If you're careless and look away, it falls. It needs a gentle, steady hand.
Ron, you mentioned a story about your sister. Can we go back to that? I think it's important.
Yeah, it's a moment I'm not proud of, but it taught me a lot. My sister was telling me about a very difficult day at her job. She was hurt by something a colleague said. I was sitting there, but I was also checking my phone. I was nodding, yeah, but I wasn't there. She just stopped talking. She looked at me, sighed, and said, "It's okay." But I knew it wasn't okay. That okay was the sound of a door closing. I had missed the chance to be there for her. When someone shares their day, they're handing you a piece of their inner world. I treated it like background noise.
Thank you for sharing that, Ron. We've all been there. It's a human mistake, but we can do better. Let's look at 3 level up words for listeners. Distracted, when your mind is in 2 places. Validate. This is a big word. It means saying, "I see your feeling and it is real." Connection. That spark when 2 people truly hear each other.
Next time someone answers you, try these simple validation phrases. That sounds like a lot to handle. I can see why that would be frustrating. I'm really glad you shared that with me.
You don't need a PhD in psychology. You just need to be present. Validation is the glue of friendship.
Chapter 4. The Fear of Being Negative. I hear this a lot from our students. They say, Ron, I don't want to tell people my day was bad. I don't want to be a negative person. I want to be positive.
Let's reframe that right now. Honesty is not the same thing as negativity. If a doctor tells you your arm is broken, they aren't being negative, they're being clear. You can't fix the arm until you admit it's broken.
Exactly. If you say, it was a tough day, I'm quite tired, you aren't complaining, you're practicing self-awareness. Self-awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Once the light is on, you can see where the furniture is. You won't trip.
And here is the secret. You can be honest and hopeful at the same time. These two things can live in the same sentence. Try saying, "It was a challenging day, but I'm looking forward to a quiet evening. I struggled with my English lesson today, but tomorrow is a new chance to try again."
That is balanced English. It shows maturity. It shows that you are in control of your emotions rather than your emotions being in control of you.
Chapter 5. Small Rituals After a Long Day. We've talked about the words, now let's talk about the action. What happens after the conversation, when the day is officially over? Do you carry that stress into your bed? Do you let the weather of the day follow you into your dreams?
I think we need closing rituals. In a play, the curtains close. In a book, the chapter ends. We need that for our lives, too. A ritual doesn't have to be a big ceremony. It can be changing your clothes mindfully. As you take off your work clothes, imagine you're taking off the day's stress. A 5-minute walk without music, just the sound of your feet. Writing 3 sentences in a journal. One thing that happened, one thing you felt, and one thing you're letting go.
Because if you never close the day never truly ends, and your mind deserves a rest. Sleep is sacred. It's where we process everything we've learned, including the English words we practiced today.
The extended calm word tour.
Let's slow down our pace even more. I'm going to read some words. Ron will give us an example. I want you to just listen to the sound of the words. Don't worry about memorizing. Just let them sink in.
Overwhelmed. I felt overwhelmed by the number of emails in my inbox this morning.
It's like a wave that feels too big to swim through.
Drained. After the long presentation, I felt completely drained of energy.
Like a battery that is at 1%. You need to plug back in.
Present. I'm trying to stay present and not think about tomorrow's chores.
Being right here, right now.
Frustrated. I felt frustrated because I couldn't remember the word I wanted to say.
That feeling when things aren't working the way they should.
Meaningful. We had a very meaningful talk about our future.
Something that has deep value.
Intentional. I'm being intentional about who I spend my time with.
Doing things with a clear purpose. If you remember only one thing from our time together today, I hope it's this. How was your day is not just small talk. It's an invitation. It's an emotional doorway.
And your answer doesn't need perfect grammar to be beautiful. It doesn't need a C2 vocabulary to be powerful. It just needs honesty.
The next time someone asks, don't reach for the mask of fine. Add one color, one weather word, one true sentence.
This week, we have a challenge for you. When someone asks about your day, pause for 2 seconds, just 2. Look them in the eye and choose a real word.
And if you're listening to this in our community, we'd love to hear from you. Finish this sentence for us. This week, when someone asks about my day, I will...
We aren't chasing perfect English. We never were.
We're building real conversations.
Slowly.
Gently.
With awareness.
And remember, your day matters. Even the quiet ones, especially the quiet ones.
Take care and keep speaking.